What's going on, team? How we doing out there? Sorry, I'm a little bit late, and let me turn myself up. I had turned myself down for the prior show. Let's get into the action. We got a lot to talk about, as of course, you guys are seeing the downturn in the market today, and we'll stopped out of one swing trade. We'll talk first about the markets, then we'll talk a little bit about my trade. Let's get into the SPY overall pulling back today. Let's get these lines out the way here. Let me go a little bit bigger so we can see this pullback. You can see how we've now started to pull back here below the 400 and are looking to maybe cut through back through the 50 moving average, which is the 398.31s on the daily. So we're going to see what happens here with the market overall. It seems like lately we're definitely in the chop zone in between the RSI, no kind of edge there, but still hanging on by a thread, right? I mean, if we think about it overall, we've been really kind of balancing in between some of these levels between the 401 and kind of the 394s on the downside, but we got extremes now towards the 390s. Looks like we're just chopping around, right? We came back here towards the kind of this 406 level and rejected that 406 level. So we'll see. Can we get back there to 410? Or are we just going to keep chopping around here? And to mention, I'm just keeping an eye out on the 200-day moving average. We are slightly starting to turn around on the 200-day moving average here as we're getting, of course, an up move back through the 400 will be something to keep an eye out. If we get that 200 to keep moving towards the upside, it's very important because if we can get that upside tick in the SPY, and then the 200 starting to actually move upward, that's definitely going to give us the look right there where we can catch the dip. Now, the only question is, do we break the 390s on downside action? So we'll keep an eye out on these levels on the SPY. Let's get to some of my trades. And I will let you guys know, we're probably not going to make it all the way to 4 p.m. today. We don't have a guest because I had some other things that I needed to take care of today. And like always, we deal with other things here at Benzinga. So I'm going to keep going here. Let's get into some of my trades today on the swing trades. We were able to make a nice swing trade close there for, of course, AAL. We took some profits in AAL today. That was a nice little push here where we went into the 60s, was able to make a 4% return on this. And if you guys heard, I don't know if you guys heard, but this was all also off the spike as the DOJ blocked JetBlue's Spirit acquisition outside, of course, of the S&P 500. But you guys saw it. Nice little rip there from that JetBlue move, and it did get back up there towards the 1650s. We'll look to see if it gets back up there towards 17 now on the daily. Daily doesn't look bad on this, right? I've been looking for this to start really pushing. We created this line on the 2nd of March, and we've been looking for this to push past towards the 17. It's a really nice pattern. Caught the bid down here in the support. We're just going to look for this to continue. UAL also ripping out, right? I've been talking about all the airlines, not just this opportunity here in AAL. Look at UAL's continued trend, right? BAL, nice little push today as this starts to get a nice little uptrend. Love was getting a nice little uptrend, but you can see JetBlue here. This is one I'm actually looking to see what happens after this pulls back. Will it get hit off of these mentioned? That's something definitely to keep on watch. There is some other stocks making a move, but of course, I did get stopped out, and I'm always transparent about it. CF stopping me out today. Just too much downside action today on that downturn with the market. And I still like MOS and NTR on pullbacks. Going to be looking at this one for a potential opportunity. It did get down there back towards 79. I was looking for even 80s on pullbacks, but the market seems so weak right now. It's kind of hard to take some longs right now. We're going to look to see if we can start to climb here toward the close. That's one thing I'm also keeping in mind. If we can get a nice climb right back to 400, it won't be that bad, right? So we can take a look at a stock like NTR. You know what, guys? I really like this play, and I also like MOS, but I'm going to be a little patient today just because it just seems like we're getting too many swings right now, and we're not really picking a direction. It's more of the chop. So I'll stick with AAL to see if that can continue going to the upside. But we'll take a look at some other trades that I'm looking at. I know I'm thinking about one, but let's stick around. Let's take a look at some other ones that had a good day on the day. One is DEC. DEC is a footwear stock that has continued to keep going. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me go ahead and hit a little bit of a promo. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Introducing portfolio synchronization with your brokerage. Now you can securely connect your brokerage account to Benzinga Pro, opening a world of personalization. Screen lightning fast news just for the stocks you own. Set alerts for news catalysts that affect only the companies you care about. It's all possible with a simple click and a secure protected connection. Overcome uncertainty and connect your portfolio to Benzinga Pro today.
All right, team, I'm back. Sorry about that. It seemed like Jerome was trying to get me on the phone there, so we'll see what happens. AAL, nice little closing move right now, starting to push here. So we'll look to see if we can get a nice little uplift there. I'm going to start looking at one stock that I do want to get a little bit of a piece in. Let's go straight towards it. So I'm looking at steel plays today, team. We've talked about X. We played it last time. It was down here at the 28.87. I haven't been able to get the 28.87. We're going to look to see if we can get a little bit of a bounce on this name. Of course, this one has a tendency of lately holding kind of towards this trend line, right? Long-term trend line. We're going to look for that to kind of hold, and that's a pullback towards kind of that 28.80s levels. And if you wanted, you could draw it down there to 28.50s. But we're at the 29 level here. I think we can get a little cut through the 29 tomorrow. So I don't mind taking at least a little piece here into the X. We'll see what happens on this one. Can he catch the bounce there and then get the move back up through the 30s? This is not a bad one that I'll keep an eye out for. But I don't mind at least taking a little piece of one trade here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look to size in towards this. Let's go ahead and put out an order here if we can get it. It's already kind of jumping already like 10 cents. I'll just jump in here at a kind of 29.12 pullback, a little bit on the bid here, just to try to get in. We'll see what happens there on X. Why am I looking at this one? Look at Nucor with a nice little pullback also. So I could look at some other plays. I could look at like Cleveland Cliff. I could look at Steel Dynamics, but Steel Dynamics is kind of holding really strong. That just shows us kind of more of the kind of leader, but this one has low volume on a daily basis. It did have that big spike here. Man, it's taken off since then. Steel Dynamics, nice little play there. Steel was the play that we've been looking at. Let's go to solar names. How did those do today? Did we get a nice pullback opportunity here for SEDG? Yes, we did get a nice little pullback opportunity here. I'm going to go ahead and start a very, very small position here on SEDG and look to work on this position here. This is not a bad one. This has been already getting a nice little lift here. So we got to be careful because it could pull back to like this 320. But if we can come back through the highs, 340s, I think we can get a nice little breakout. So willing to take a small little piece here. And this one's a very expensive stock. So I have to be very slow into this one. So I'm going to slowly work into it now and then work to try to get in on the a little bit in between here too. The spread is a little wide. So that's another thing that I'd keep in mind on a name like this. You got to be careful with the spread because the spread itself can kind of ruin you. So looking to get it in on a little bit of a pullback. I'll let you know if I do get a fill. We did get X on that pullback fill there. We got it at the 29.12. So we got a little starter there in X. You guys are seeing me take the trades live as we speak. All right. I'm catching up with the chat out there. What's going on? How we doing? What did you guys swing trade? Any setups you guys are looking at? Go ahead and throw them up in the chat. We're going to keep going and taking a look into the market, find what's strong, what isn't. We'll take a look at some relationships that we are keeping a close eye, like some solar names. When we looked at SEDG, you guys, I just threw out that. We'll see if we'll get any ENPH. That's another one, right, that we've been looking to see if this one could hold the pullback on the day-to-day. Nice little around the 222.90 areas, holding well there for ENPH. I also like this one too because it's a little bit closer towards the bottom, but this one has been weak in the past. First Solar, how's that one doing right now? Let's take a look on that one. First Solar continuing the strength. EMPH, you guys can see that one turning around a little bit. The hourly does have support around the 222 level. So First Solar is one definitely that I'm also keeping an eye on just to continue watching the strength in the industry. Run was one that I got caught in today a little bit on the pullback. So I'll keep this one on my radar. Really looking for it to clean back above 25 tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there on Run. And TAN, the ETF, with a nice little pullback opportunity here. I do like this outlook here on TAN. If I wanted to, I could just go for the ETF here. But the ETF, I'll keep a look on to see if I can get it around 78 tomorrow on a little bit of a dip buy. We'll see what happens there on some of these solar names. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on, Jan? Still in American. Hey, power to you. You know, we'll see if we can keep this kind of pushing. How you guys doing out there? Lots of good trading. Hey, that's what I like to hear. All right, the Crow, I know in the chat, always killing it. What's going on out there, Jet? Took AMD puts at the top. Been holding since. AMD puts. Where'd you get them at? At 11.55. Let's go. Let's take a look here. Ooh, 11.55. Not the best, but not the worst, right? You were right about here, the 83s. Oh, 11.55. Right around 12. That's not too bad. Not a bad little play right back to the downside. AMD had just been getting a nice little lift, especially since that damn low mention. The only thing I'm looking at there is it can continue to 85 in the next couple of days. We'll see what happens there. Got the starter there in SEDG. We'll see what happens there. That's 327.22. We'll keep an eye out on SEDG tomorrow. And I need to add, but I'm going to add very slowly on that SEDG. When a stock is $300, you got to be very careful. Pinterest is one that we're going to be looking for daily pullback. Snap pulling back today. That actually stopped me out on a day trade. I'll keep an eye out on Snap to see if it pulls back and really wants to keep going. Meta's been one that's been hot as of late. Will this one turn around? Something to keep an eye out. And Jet said, no, I feel that 84.36. All right, perfect. Well, almost the top. Hey, you can't get always a top, but hey, that's not a bad one, Jet. All right, Jay said SE, biggest volume day in over a year. That's actually my biggest winner in my day trade. And shout out to you, Jay. I know you were on top of it. And I know I compared it to the other chart, the CN, and let's just say it wasn't the same, right? This chart. Hey, but you got to be flexible, right? And I was flexible. I saw this big lift here out the gates, team, where this one kind of pushed up right out the gates with a big push. It was like a 9% move on the big push. And so I was looking for the pullback. The pullback came right to the VWAP. Was able to get on this one right back towards the upside. Top shares were towards 69.91. But I got this one on a pullback at 73.61. So it was a nice little move there. I wish I would have held it for a little bit of a swing, but hey, you win some, you lose some. Some you bring it to the swing trade. Sometimes you don't, right? This one was still a hell of a good trade. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other names. Oh, how did some other names in electronic gaming do if this one did so well, right? So you guys always see me a lot of the times. I take a look at like sectors and industries, right? So we're talking about SE right now. We're going to take a look into electronic gaming and multimedia to see if there's any setups there that are maybe going off of a little bit of some sympathy into the industry, right? So let's take a look here under hood. All right, let's take a look. What other stocks are making a move? All right, so I can see this. There's going to be some cheaper names here. Let's just make sure we're in the right sector here. And looks like, yeah, we got to get into technology. Let's get into that. Electronic and gaming. Boom, boom. There it is. All right. Now we're going to see here. You can see Roblox had a good day off of that news. Not looking too bad on this chart. Look how it's starting to recover. Multiple highs in the same area, yet you pulled off of these highs. This is something to keep an eye out for. I would keep an eye out on the hourly chart. You can see how you've been trying to kind of making a little bit of a cup and handle pattern here. I'm going to look for another push through 42. Roblox, not a bad one. Take Two was one that I was going to be watching today. that started lifting. Doesn't look too bad. Really held that 98 bottoming action there. And now starting to come back up through that 115, held the 115 for support. This one doesn't look too bad here. Let's see if it takes back through towards the 119 on the next move tomorrow. A cheaper one, INSE. Keep an eye out on this one. Let's take a look at the daily chart. This one has just been starting to uptrend to the upside. And what I like about it is it's holding the pullbacks, right? This has a tendency right now of holding these pullbacks and just taking the next step up. We'll see if it gets through this. This is kind of like an ascending wedge, right? Will it get through there? Ascending triangle. Will it get through there to the 1650s? We'll find out, right? Next move through the 1630s, I'd keep an eye out, or it could just reverse off of these levels. We'll take a look at some of these. I know the EA that hasn't been moving much. That actually got hit hard there. SLGG didn't really do much. So there really wasn't too much move here with this gaming move except SE. All right, let's get back to the action. Let's take a look at, of course, this is one of those days where it's a little bit depressing because, at least for the redness, all the sectors, industrials down, defensives down, technology, cyclicals, everything down here. What got hit the hardest was actually basic materials. So we'll look to see if some of this stuff bounces back, right? But it's a little bit hard to see some of the positive in the stocks today. If anything, there's more kind of short setups. But let's go to some of those stocks. Some of those stocks include UAL, right? Nice little good day for UAL with a nice little up move. And I got you, Henry. We'll do a little ticker time in a little bit. But UAL with a nice little up move. We'll see what happens with this one. This is just the airlines. We're continuing to watch this move. AMD still stayed positive. Wasn't the biggest move, but something to keep an eye out on, right? We'll see what happens. ALK, Alaska Airlines. You see? Take two. Some of the names that we're watching. Now, one that is starting to get the motor going that I would keep an eye out is Kroger. Kroger with a nice little move today and starting to really kind of push here off of the weekly. I'd keep an eye out on it, especially for a little bit of a pullback. We've already pushed here for the 46. So you got that little 46 pullback. Maybe we get a 46.50 pullback now. That's what I'd be looking for in Kroger. And who knows? How's ACI? ACI is actually starting to finally get a little bit of a bounce. I might actually take a little bit of a shot in this one. Of course, it's had the merger outlook, but grocery stores not looking too bad on the day. That did get a little bit of a bounce there. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other ones. Dexcom, I don't really trade that. For solar, we've talked already about solars, and most of this, you can see there's a little bit of a trend, right? Let's get into, at least now, looks like some oil name, CTRA. So, what do you guys think about oil right now? This doesn't look too bad. We are getting a little bit of a bounce, but energy didn't have the best day. This was going a little bit against the trend, right? So we got to keep an eye out. We'll find out what happens here in CTRA. Now, one that is to report tonight, CrowdStrike. What will happen with this one? I don't want to take an up bet because it's already gone pretty high up for the year. It's up about 35%. But CrowdStrike, you can see it, team. It is pulling back on the day. We'll have to wait and find out. All right, let's keep going. Just give me 1 second and take a little sip here. All right, let's keep it going, team. All right, the industrials, it was the area that got hit the least, at least today, right? Let's take a look what was there, and that's all because of the airlines, I think, that helped it. But let's go towards underneath the hood. Let's take a look. Caterpillar with a big hit there. Deere with a big pullback back towards the 419 level. So we got up there to the 430s. We're right back towards the 420s. It seems like we're playing a little bit more and more of the chop out there. So we got to be careful. Remember, we got Picard. Picard just gave us a nice 6% gain. If this can get right back to 72s, why not? Buy the dip, sell the rip. My man Triple D would be proud of me. Got to go ahead and take it when it's there. Right now, it seems like this is not the market where you fight the gains. What do I mean by that? So multiple times this week, I had opportunities where I could have just been a little bit greedy and been like, well, I'll look for more than 6%. I'll look for 7, 8, 10%. I'll look for 20. And if I would have done that with this turnaround that we just got, boom, I wouldn't have been able to get the profits. And I think it's very important to try to take when the market gives you your returns, especially if it's your planned attack, to take that money and run. There's nothing wrong with it, right? We're here to play the game, but we're also here to make some money, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. All right, let's keep going. Let's get back towards the market. You guys throw up some tickers. We'll start doing a little bit of some ticker time. And of course, we'll take a look at some other names. I did see some names that had like DKS, right? Earnings. Look at this day. Ooh, DKS staying strong. And if DKS is strong, one that I'd look for maybe a continuation. It pulled back a little bit today, giving us an opportunity here. I actually like this opportunity, guys. I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger shot this time. Let's take a little bit of a shot here. All right, taking a little bit of ASO on this pullback. I really like the look here after the kind of the hourly support being around the 60-33s. I can add down there towards 60. I can look for the push here. You can see how like 59 could be kind of the risk. We're going to look for a push back up through this kind of symmetrical triangle. If we can get back into this zone, we'll be looking pretty decent on this trade. And of course, with DKS, with a nice little report, we'll also look for a little bit of sympathy to come into ASO. ASO hung in there today. I think the only thing that really dragged it was the market. If we get any type of up action, I think this could recover right back through 62. So taking some live trades here for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Smash the like. Let's go. Mitch, you ever go to Plant City Strawberry Fest where you live? Oh, when I lived here? No, I don't think I did. Not Plant Cities. Born. I got to check that out. I've been to a lot of things in Florida, but I don't think I've been to that. All right, let's keep going. I'll take a look at some other ones. But ASO, you see, just going through there, just finding some strength, taking another shot. We'll see what happens there. Now we got SEDG, which is just kind of about to be in the break, in the green there. ASO, and we'll keep an eye out on X, right? That's one that we did take also. So let's keep going. Let's take some stocks from the chat here. I did see Game. Game is that gaming one, right? GAM. Let's take a look at the daily on this one. This one doesn't look bad. At least it's recovering here. One thing that you can see is it's pulling back, trying to hold this kind of $2. The only thing is it really is extended on the daily. You can see it with a 9 EMA. It's down there towards 190. I could see it maybe cutting through towards 190, 175 tomorrow. Then looking for a little bit of recovery on this one. But not too bad. It's just a little bit of a slower move for me. Not something that I would normally be chasing. AI, can you take a look at that one? I got you. Why not? I know this one's a confusing one. I can tell you right now that when I was watching this stock through this day where it went to 31, and I'd like 28 for shorts. So I think that's really the level where you start squeezing people out again. It already went through there up back towards 30 and couldn't get through the 31. So let's see if it just kind of holds the 9 EMA on pullbacks. That's going to be 24.58. If it can hold 25, I don't see this too bad of a pullback, especially because it just leaped up there on the earnings. Now, one thing that you also could do is just kind of draw the earnings low, and you don't want it to break that, right? You could keep it very simple on that end, and you can just be like, okay, so we're looking for a push back towards 28. We need it to hold that hourly low from the earnings, the 24.03. And then we want it to get back there through the 28. If that happens here, it's not going to be looking too bad. Weekly overall has like kind of a pullback level towards 23.40s. So I could see that level being something that comes into play. We'll see what happens with this one. AI, it's also going to need, I think, Microsoft having some lift, right? It did get a little bit of a lift. Will it continue, though, or will it just come back through the 250s? I bought before earnings and caught the pop. Still am holding. Didn't sell at the top, and that's okay. But one thing, like, I'm not saying that you need to do this increasing always, and it's okay to like kind of hold on to a bigger position and you're looking for a bigger move. If that's the plan, Always stick to the plan. Now, I'm just saying, at least in my case right now, in my data, I'm seeing a lot of it is when I get these big pops, I got to sell the rips. Sell the rips, buy the dips. We'll see if it continues to work. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other names that had a good move on the day. Hyatt Hotels started the day with a nice little all-time high and then just started pulling back. Lodging is something that's interesting right now. Take a look at Hilton. Hilton's pulling back. Marriott's pulling back. Airbnb also pulling back. That's one that I'm keeping an eye on. That has gotten pretty strong from that 120. Will it come up here, or did we already get the run for the year in these types of stocks? One thing I'd point out is ARKK now looks like it's rejecting that 40 move and could start to break down. So I'd keep on watch maybe SARK, right? Look at this nice little bottoming action that we're getting out of SARK. This is not a bad one to keep in mind, right? I'm actually, you know what? This could be a nice little hedge type of play, right? Because we can take some trades to the upside on some of these other ones. And we could also look for maybe some of the growth names to turn, which SARK could go up with also. So this one's going to be one that's on my radar, especially for that 42 move. I'm just going to set an alert a little bit above 42, about 42.66. We'll see if we're able to catch it tomorrow. All right, this feels like a huge bear trap, says SRT8 Challenger. The shakeout has been vicious. What I feel like this is more, let's test the bears and let's test the bulls. Because if we can test both sides, what is that called? And Dennis talks about this all the time. It's the max pain trade, right? Where you're stopping out the lows, you're stopping out people at the highs. You're stopping out people at the lows, you're stopping out people at the highs. That's something to think about. I wonder if Rivian is a long-term, it's hit 52-week low. I see them on the road more and more. Hey, I'll tell you right now, I talked about it this morning. I want Rivian long-term, but at $7, team. So can someone let me know when it gets about half from here? If it can get to $7 or even like $8, I'll take a little piece. I like it, but not right now. Rivian, I think, can keep going down. And just like Fisker, I like this company, but I'm going to get this. If I go for Fisker, it might be down like half of this. It might be like at $3. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. Just like Lucid. Oh, man. Got to be careful with Lucid. We could come back to cut out this $6. This is a tough one, team. I think 5 for Rivian, says Michael. I mean, you want to get it on the cheap, right? On the discount. I'll be looking. That's what I'm going to be watching for. You can make your own decision, right? Where you want to get it. And if this is for you, I'm with you increasing at least that I see them on the road. I've seen what they look like. I think it's an actually nice looking car. I think they have some experience with the last mile delivery vans with all the time that they put in with Amazon. That can definitely give them a nice up look in the long run. We'll see what happens. It's a tough, brutal day, though. Definitely, indeed. All right, Dennis liked the 15 support Rivian, but now it's broken it. Yeah. The 15 seemed good, but now it's at 14. It looks better, though, right? We'll see. Does SI recover? No. In my eyes, no. Like always, it's not investment advice, but in my eyes, I think SI disappears. Just like I think, honestly, I think MSTR might run into some real battles. This one looks like a short for me, team. I was thinking about this one around like the 250 levels. Now that we're really starting to come back down and we have that opportunity to really break, this one doesn't seem too bad for me to actually get short into. Ooh, this one's a tough one, team. But yeah, MSTR looks interesting for me. I'm going to look to see if somehow I can get a little lift to 240s tomorrow, because I do like this outlook for it to come right back down to 150s on MicroStrategy. And for that case, I would think that these stocks would start to break down, like Mara, and like you can go to Riot, those Bitcoin stocks. If we're going to get that big breakdown, like I just talked about on MSTR, well, then those would break down. So we'll keep an eye out on those types of stocks. I'd rather a Hellcat. Hell yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad with a Hellcat. Rivian, you can get cut easily trying to catch falling knives. I agree with that. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks here. Let's see what else is getting a little lift. That ASO is already getting a little lift there, team. Not a bad little buy there. We got in on that one at 60.70. That's going to be right over here. Now that's already starting to get a little bit of a lift. That was right on the bottom of this. Now we're getting that little lift to 60.90s. This one doesn't look too bad. Can we recover there on ASO? We'll find out. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other ones. Boyle. Uh-oh. Boyle right back to the hourly support. Can it hold here? One thing, though, that the Boyle likes to do is kind of shake you out. Shake and bake you, man. Because look at this move. Look at that down gap. And then down gap recovery. So, man, Boyle. UND, you did me dirty last time. I had you at like 840s, and then we did this move. And it went to 10. I was looking for a move to 10. That's literally where I would have sold. But it's a little bit hard, man. I'm not going to go after these. I did like the LNG daily move, right? But this is coming back. Could fill the gap. So just be careful there for LNG if it fills the gap. I'll keep an eye out on these, but they're a little bit hard, man. I'm not going to lie. LNG was a really strong move. Look at this fake out. That's a hard fake out. In my eyes, this is a really clear sign technically. And then you get this move. That's going to be tough to get through. Now we'll see what happens. There's some people trapped above here in the 160s, 164s, I would think. So now we'll see if LNG can recover. Appreciate the thumbs up, Edward. Like always, man. I just try to do my best. You guys know I'm working on my CMT skills, always trying to improve. And you guys can always take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research, do your own levels. I just try to help out, point to directions, look to where the strength is. And if I can help you guys find where strength is in the market, well, hey, power to you guys from there. And I hope you guys are able to execute on some trades. All right, let's keep going. We can take a look at some other names that had been strong to see how those are continuing. Let's go to some of the energy names. Like one that I was looking at to see what would happen is MPC. I was watching it when it was down here and it started making this move. It still hasn't pulled back enough for me to even get in on that one. Oxy, we were watching from minus 59 up. That's pulling back, but nothing that I want to just jump into. And look at this turnaround in XOM today. Not really a chart that's seeming like it just wants to hang on. It's looking a little topsy now on that XOM. But I'm not going to battle with energy until we really start to break down, right? We'll see what happens with these names, but they don't look too good right now. All right, Joe, hey, power to you. Like always, you make your investment decisions. If you want ASO now, hey, power to you. I just hope we both are able to cash. Lyft and Uber green. Lyft, I would never trade anymore. That's just me, but that's just me personally. But Uber's a little different. Uber doesn't look too bad here on this pullback for the daily. Let's delete some of these levels. Let's take a look here. Clear support for me would be off this Monday 3290s, and then you can see how you did this little cut down day. Oh, stocks love to do these little cut down days right through a wick, and then just right back up the next day. So now that we're starting to clear here, and I can see like a trend line, right? This is what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. If we can lift through this kind of 3460s, this doesn't look bad at all. So move back up and you close back here above 35s tomorrow, we'll be looking pretty decent here on Uber's daily. So this is actually one that we can actually set an alert. I'm going to keep an eye out for this one, but nice little play and a nice little mention there. You see how easily I can kind of set up trades. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to take this, but let's just set it up, right? You never know when this can get through. This is the 4-hour chart. And I like this kind of up and down action where you're like washing the intraday action trade out. And all of a sudden the traders that are trading off the daily or even the weekly chart can catch this next move up. Support could be even closer if you look on the weekly to pull it down towards like 3268. So if you want to go a little bit further, you can pull it down just towards that extreme of that 3268. We'll see if it holds the 9 EMA on this pullback, which is 33.98. All right, let's keep going. Let's take some more here. DNS, Crow, you think tomorrow run? I like the little setup at least. Hourly levels, hourlies, even with the cheap boys, we'll take a look. $3 name here. Look at the support. Look how it's holding the hourly move. That's what I look for a lot of the times. And this is not a bad looking pattern at all. Just needs to hold kind of a move maybe towards 356 and then could get that next lift. Just pushed here as of recent. I see you, Crow. I see you. You just mentioned CrowdStrike. I believe they also have earnings after hours, 100%. That's what I mentioned when I brought them up. If you rewind, how does one get certification in technical analysis like me? Well, it's nothing special, but I mean, it's not going to give you like the biggest, like let's say, money directly, but you can look up the CMT Association. So if you want to look them up, by all means, you can. If not, you can also learn from a CMT. We have our trading schools that you can check out from Benzinga, Ron, or you can check out what I've been going after, which is a certification, but it's more for like professionals, right? Like if you're trying to be a professional, I kind of understand that. If you're trying to be retail, I would look more into our trading schools and check out, because we do have Mark Petrino, which is a CMT already certified, and he's teaching there. All right, we'll see what happens there. Plus or minus $12 for the expected move on CrowdStrike. I like the pullback today. I think it does give you an opportunity on CrowdStrike, but I just think it's too extended for me on the daily, away from the 9, that I can't take the shot. If it was down here at like 122s and the 9 was like just slightly, it just has a tendency of holding the 9, but it's already extended away from it. I don't like it. We'll see what happens there. We'll keep a look at some other names. I'll scroll up a little bit. I know you guys are jumping in with some other ones right here. All right. I do see some other ones. Let's go ahead. Let's get back to the SPY. How's the SPY doing right now? We're still hanging on towards the 398s. Are we going to make a 400 move? That's what I'm going to be looking here towards the close. AMD, let's take a look there. AMD trying to recover a little bit here around the 82s. It doesn't look too bad there. NVIDIA coming down here after that really strong move. Will we actually come back and fill that gap? That's one thing that I'd be thinking about in NVIDIA. Why? Because look at this. And let me go here to the scratch. All right, so you went above these levels, and now you're starting to create another topping action right here. So look at this topping action. 398, 92s. Looks like it's a little toppy there on NVIDIA, like it can't get through there. That's a level that I'd keep an eye out. Will we break that level tomorrow, or will we start rejecting and coming back down through the 230s, coming to fill the gap towards 210? All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names here. Bitcoin in danger zone. MSTR. Ooh, that one's, I'm telling you, it's a little tempting, but it's a little bit of a bigger name. I need a little bit of a slower approach to it. We'll see what happens on that one. All right, let's take a look at some other ones. Let's go back out of this. We can take a look at, of course, ARKK. Was there anything up on that name today? Roblox and NTLA. Not, I don't like that at all. There's sometimes I can see a chart and I'm just like, no, no, no. This is an education play. Not looking good there. It's a tough day, man. There's not much in the green. I mean, we can look at shorts if you want to take a look at something like that. But what about Starbucks? Is this topped out? Weekly's topped out there a little bit. It looks a little bit of head and shoulders to me off the 105 level. This doesn't look too bad, team. What do you guys think about Starbucks? I've been stopped out in Starbucks plenty of times, but Starbucks has made a monster of a move since, like, we're talking like 52%. Does look a little head and shoulder to me. We'll see what happens on this one. It's just a little bit away from the kind of like the 104s. A little bit closer here would make sense around the 104s, but we'll see what happens there. City Personal said, I bought the CMT book online. Yeah, buy the book if you just want to read the book. There's nothing wrong with that. Bernie going after Starbucks. I don't know, man. That one doesn't look too bad. It just needs to come back. I'm going to actually look for a little comeback through 104s tomorrow. If we can get a little pushback through 104s, I can maybe risk off the 105s there for Starbucks. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make bad sense there. Let's look at General Mills. Nice little recovery there. Always a good dip buy. It doesn't look too bad, right? And you guys know I love my cereal. And I'm looking for a little bit more of that value trade to come back. But man, it did not hold on last time. How's Canara Brands? Right back down to the support. Clorox. Right back down. Where's Coke? Coke doesn't look too bad. Coke on a nice little pullback today. This actually doesn't look bad, team. See how this pulled back here toward the trend line? Off the kind of the 59.76. I like this actually. Let's see if I can get a 60 pullback here on Coca-Cola. I haven't traded Coke in a long time, man. You know what? We'll take a little bit of 60.06. Taking a little bit of some trades. I have no problem taking some trades as long as I can be a little bit risk managed here, right? This is going to be a move from 606 down to the 59.75. That's about a 0.5 of a percent, 32 cents, right? So I got to at least make there towards like 90 cents on the upside action, right? 90 cents on the upside action is going to put us probably towards 61, just slightly above that. First resistance is towards 60.90s. From there, I'm going to look for a push towards 61.56. I'm going to take a look at Coca-Cola, and Pepsi should be starting to come back because this one did dip by. And so it dipped right back, filled the gap, now starting to recover back. This one doesn't look too bad either, but I just needed to get back through 175. I'll keep an eye on Pepsi-Cola the next couple of days. General Mills got me to Coke somehow, and I took another trade. I'm just taking a lot of trades today. I thought I was going to take it easy. No worries. At least they're just starters. A lot of times on here, I'll take a starter and I'll look tomorrow to see how it's working to kind of manage the risk there. SEDG is starting to come back. That one doesn't look bad at all. We took an entry on this one earlier in the show at 327.22s. Now starting to come back. If it could close above 330s, this is going to be looking a lot better here for SEDG. Weight Watchers. It's ripping, man. Weight Watchers is ripping. It had earnings today. It's kept going. I know I wouldn't be on that train, but hey, whatever you like, right? CDIO running. All right, CDIO has been one we've been keeping a track on for a while off of live trading action. Now coming back off of the $5. Look at the 9 EMA, 482. Whenever I see stocks, and you guys heard me probably talk about this multiple times today. I look at stocks, when they extend away from the 9 EMA, when they do this move here, I look for them to come back to the 9. And then a lot of times I'll look to see, is there levels I can risk off of that 9, right? So the 9 was here towards like kind of like 850s the day prior. Well, I'm looking to see if I can get it around that 850 level and risk down below there where it makes sense for the risk to reward to come right back up towards the resistance. So if it can come back to 8, that's a nice big move from down here, right? You're talking about a 65% move back up for a risk here for potentially about 15%, 20%. So you got to always know like the risk to reward, but it's just something to take a look at. Starbucks got amazing cake pops, says the Crow. Yeah, those cake pops, they get you. Flux. Is that really a stock or am I just tripping out? Flux. Yeah, this is a nice little daily little trend. It's just like a kind of a hidden one. The only thing is I didn't like this move here. I don't really like this move. This looks kind of more like a rejection from the breakout back through 7. But as long as it holds support, you're kind of in the clear, right? And it holds at 631. You're still looking good. You close down to 6. You know this one's turning around. All right, let's get back to the SPY. We're going to wrap it up. There's about 133 of you guys. So come on, smash the like if you guys enjoyed today's action, getting through multiple charts, taking some stocks from you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I took multiple trades. You guys know it. We're in AAL, ASO, Coke, Solar Edge, and a little bit there on the X Life as we get a pullback in X. So I'm going to keep an eye out on this one tomorrow to add. We got the starter at 29.12. Going to look down there towards kind of 28.50s for the pullback to kind of hold right around here. This 28.70s, little recovery there. Boom, look for a move back towards 30 and 31 in US Steel. We'll find out tomorrow, team. SPY pulling back there. Didn't get to the 400. We'll look to see if we keep cracking to the 395s and the 390s tomorrow, or do we turn around? That's going to do it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash the thumbs up. Hammer, Crow. And one thing that I love about this, team, where else are you guys finding a swing trading show? Yes, I said it. That's what this show's about. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the share button. Let everybody know the #1 swing trading show, because there's pretty much none other out there, is right here. So smash the thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And I have a great guest for you guys tomorrow. Find out tomorrow. Keep up with me. Like always, at MoneyMitchBZ on Twitter. You guys will see that verification check. And the guy on Instagram, that's not me. I'm just on Twitter. I know there's some fakes out there. But let's get it going. Smash it up, team. And it's always good to kind of see you guys in public. The other day, I actually ran into someone from the chat that watches us on PreMarket Prep, that watches us on live trading. They just came up to me. Money Mitch. Hey, guys, I'll tell you right now, I fanboy just about you guys like you guys fanboy about me, because at the end of the day, I'm with you guys on the journey. We're all just trying to get better here, right? That's what you guys see me doing. I'm not just here to just be on show. Like, you know, this isn't just a CNBC anchor that just wants to talk about the markets. No, I'm actually here trying to get better with you guys. I hope that you guys out there keep working on your skills, keep upping them up, and keep pushing towards the next level. It's never just simple. It's never just one way. We got to take a look at a lot of our data, find ways to find the edge, because that's what it's all about, right? We'll see what happens in the chop market, and catch me tomorrow, of course, on PreMarket Prep. Let's go, team. It was a fun day today. I appreciate you guys sticking around too. I didn't even need to like hold it. That was like 50 minutes of talking. I hope you guys enjoyed it.